Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm Jerry, the son of the man whom you just heard speaking. Um, I just wanted to share a few thoughts with you today. Normally, I have a script and some verses that I read, but I'm just going to speak extemporaneously for a very brief moment. So, I had the distinct pleasure of helping my dad on Friday look up some scriptures for his sermon. I usually don't know what he's going to talk about in advance. So, of course, then that gives my mind some time to think through some things about joy. And I often get up in the morning and have a coffee with my wife. And so I got up this morning and made the coffee and started preaching to her as I like to do. And yeah, we open the word and those types of things. But um, yeah, so I was preaching to her, and then on the way over here in the car, the Spirit was moving upon me heavily. I could feel the waves coming from the throne room. And so, uh, in conjunction and piggybacking on what my dad's already been speaking on, which is joy, I was getting a word, and the word was sowing and reaping. There is joy in the sowing, and there's joy in the reaping. And if we think about things like fall festivals or Oktoberfest, then we think in terms of the reaping and all the excitement that comes along with bringing in the harvest and bringing in the first fruits. And you sit down and you have a feast and you have a meal and you celebrate the work that you've been doing up to that point and the work that's in front of you, the great reward of the reaping. But in order to reap, you got to first, right? So the sowing comes before the reaping. And I know in the Bible it says the reaper is going to overtake the sower. Is that what it is? Yeah. So there's going to be some reaping and sowing at the same time. So I was thinking about how reaping and sowing are tied to conception and birth, right? Conception and birth, the sowing and the reaping, right? So we know that the tares grow up with the wheat. The good and the bad is growing together. And we know that Jacob and Esau were inside of the same womb. They were two different seeds sown in the same ground. And so your mind is the ground in which the seeds are sown. Okay, if you're receiving the bad seed, you can expect tares to grow in your mind. If you're receiving the good seed, then you can expect great things to come out of your mind. And so that's why you read the Bible, you're putting the good seed into your mind, right? So we know that conception is followed by birth, usually about 9 months later. In your mind, the seed's sown and it grows at different rates depending on how much you water it and fertilize it. So that's another reason you read the Bible and pray. You're trying to fertilize the seed that's been planted in your mind. So God is giving you his thoughts. He's putting his thoughts into your mind and they come out as words that you speak, right? And so you're supposed to be speaking words that are spirit and life. Well, that's because the seed of God is planted in your mind and then it comes out. Now, the word coming out of your mouth is the fruit of what's been being produced in your mind. And so that fruit is designed to feed people, right? And so the fruit of the Spirit, righteousness, peace, joy, loving kindness, forgiveness, gentleness, meekness, faithfulness, all these great things are supposed to be coming from inside of you because they've been planted in you by God through the preaching of the word. And the preaching of the word waters the seed and it cleanses the seed and it purifies your mind and it allows you to have a great harvest. And the harvest is the fruit that feeds people. Amen. So I want to encourage you today. There's joy in sowing and there's joy in reaping. Amen. There's joy in conception and there's joy in birth. Okay. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. Love you guys. We'll see you next week at 1:30. Have a great day.